All right, 2015 Eagles schedule is out. Ooh, football. Ooh, football. It's not quite a game and it's not quite the draft, but it's something. It's something to look at. It's something that gets my football juices going, and I want to share this moment here with you. And I looked over the schedule before making this video here and whatnot. I do have some issues with this schedule, and I'll get into that as we cross the certain games, but let's just get right into it. Starting off, Monday night, September 14th, at the Atlanta Falcons, primetime Monday Night Football. I like this. I like this. It gives the Eagles that primetime slot. The football eyes of the nation are going to be on the Eagles. I mean, Atlanta's not much of a team from what they showed last year, but Atlanta's a much better team than what their record was last year too. So this isn't like going into or having Jacksonville come to Philadelphia last year and, you know, we get our asses kicked in the first half and then come back to stomp them in the second half. I like this matchup. It's a good, solid first week matchup. I have no problems with this. It's a good enough of a test to see what we got in Philadelphia, and they should blow over a team like Atlanta. They should, but let's get there and see what happens. Oh, and by the way, I'm not going to give you my thoughts on like, oh, I think the Eagles have 10, 11 wins in this schedule. Oh, but if they get Mariota, they're going to have 11 or 12. But if Bradford starts at least half of his games, he'll win this game and that game, but Sanchez won't win that. No. I'm just going over each game week to week here, so don't ask me what I think the Eagles' record is going to be. We haven't even hit the draft yet, people. We haven't even hit the draft yet. Anyway, Sunday, September 20th, Dallas at Philadelphia. This is the first problem I have with this schedule. These early week games are often not a true reflection of what a team is going to be. Like last year, for instance, the Patriots lost week 1 to the Dolphins. What did the Patriots end up doing last year, by the way? Oh, that's right, they won the Super Bowl. What I'm getting at is the first week or two, and even the week 3 game, it's a lot of rookies finding their way and a lot of the players playing with the new pieces, the free agents that were added. There may be, you know, the proverbial ring rust with someone that's coming off the injured list that had a torn ACL all last year and is coming back into the mix. It's really the first 3 weeks of the NFL season are the team finding their way and getting their motions going. And for them to have such a crucial matchup, because let's be realistic, odds are it's going to be the Eagles and the Cowboys vying for the NFC East next season. And for them to have a matchup so early on, I just do not like it. I do not like it. It's the home game in Philly, and to have it so early, I just don't like it. I don't think it increases the Eagles' chances of winning or losing anymore. It's just that with both teams, you know, you're still fighting your way that early on this season. But again, champions and good teams should be able to find their way no matter what. I just don't like getting a division matchup, a big rivalry matchup this early on in the season. Next, week 3, September 27th, Sunday, at the New York Jets. Again, solid game, solid matchup. That's, you know, no complaints about that. Going into week 4, another NFC East matchup at Washington, Sunday, 1 o'clock. These weeks 2, 3, and 4 were Sunday games, by the way, if I haven't mentioned. Week 1 is the Monday night game at Washington. Again, this is where, if you're going to have an NFC East matchup, that's where I should see the first Dallas game, if you're going to give Dallas that early on in the schedule. You know, no problems with the time or the week, that is. Sunday, 1 o'clock game, week 5, October 11th, New Orleans Saints at Philadelphia. Basically a rematch of Chip Kelly's first playoff game. It would be nice to see Chip Kelly at least get a win here, because it'll take the monkey off his back just a little bit, because that's the team that Drew Brees came in here, kicked our tails in by just 2 points. Just 2 points. It's not really a tail kicking in, but this would be a nice win. That would be a nice win, and it's a winnable game. Eagles got to get it done, obviously. Anyway, next, Monday night game, another primetime game for the Eagles. New York Giants at the Eagles. Rematch of last year's Sunday night's game where Victor Cruz tore his ACL in the game, or MCL, whatever, he fucked his leg up. Anyway, another primetime game, no complaints about that. Solid matchup, blah, blah, blah. Going on to another primetime matchup the next week, Sunday Night Football, Week 7 at the Carolina Panthers. And I gotta admit, when I saw this, I was like, as far as Sunday night matchups go, this doesn't, I don't know, this just doesn't have the luster that a Sunday night game should have. It's the Carolina Panthers, the team that kind of limped into the playoffs with a very weak record, not taking anything away from them. They had a lot of injuries, and they, started coming together at the end of the season. They beat Arizona in the playoffs on their fourth-string quarterback. But anyways, and seeing that Sanchez dismantled this team just last year, it's kind of like, is there really that much of a yearning to see these two teams on Sunday Night Football? Because Sunday Night Football is the game of the week. It's supposed to be, despite what Fox tells you what the game of the week is. I really would wish they would put a stronger opponent, or even just a bigger rivalry matchup. Like, I'd rather see, that Monday night game be moved to Sunday night between the Giants. I'd rather see that on Sunday Night Football. But again, what I want and what everyone else wants is going to be different. Going into the bye for Week 8, I like that. Dead center in the middle of the season. Well, 1 week before the middle of the season. There's 17 weeks, but technicalities. And then you're going into Week 9 at Dallas. Sunday Night Football again. So, Sunday Night Football, Carolina, bye week, and then Sunday Night Football again. And again, I have no problems with them playing with the Eagles playing Dallas on Sunday night, but it's kind of redundant to have 2 Sunday night games in 3 weeks. I don't know. Did that strike anyone as kind of overdoing it? And plus, if the Eagles suck or anything by that point, it's 2 big embarrassments in 3 weeks on Sunday Night Football. That's just the pessimistic archfiends looking at this. But also another thing with this is you're at the first week in November, and that's it. You're done playing Dallas for the year. Both Dallas games are done. I thought that was kind of odd. Like, you didn't save anything for the second half of the season. I know technically Week 9 is 1 week into the second half, but it's like, oh, we don't have a chance to play Dallas in December, and it's 1 week into November, and we played Dallas twice? I don't know. That kind of just had me scratching my head. I was like, man, I want to see Romo choke in December in Philly, or him choke in December in Dallas against the Eagles. That kind of just, I don't know, kind of deflates the rivalry matchup this year. One, to play them in Week 2, again, a week where a lot of teams are finding their ways still. I don't know. I was like, I don't know what they're doing here. Week 10, Miami Dolphins at Philadelphia. Nice AFC matchup game. That's going to be a defense that is truly going to test what this offense can do. There's a lot of other solid defenses we're going to be facing this year as well. Well, actually, not so much so. Not really too many good defenses. We'll get to 2 other very good defenses on later on the list. But this is, I'm looking at it. Carolina, if healthy, is a very good defense. Look at the rest of the schedule. None of these defenses really stand out as any sort of world beaters. So this is going to be a test. This Miami Dolphins defense is very good. And they added Sue this year, so that should be a test of what this Eagles offense can do with whatever quarterback they have, with whatever scheme they're running and whatever they're doing, and it's a home game to do it and prove it. So I'm looking forward to that game. It may just be some rinky-dink team that you only see once every 3 years, but this is a matchup that I have circled on my calendar because I want to see what this team can do against a very solid defense. November 22nd, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Philadelphia. This would be interesting if Tampa Bay drafts Mariota. Would it not be? Would it not be? Oh boy! See, people saw Tampa Bay on the schedule, but it's like, what if they don't go with Jameis Winston and go with Mariota in Tampa? Boy, that would be an interesting matchup. All of a sudden, this game has a lot of meaning, but we aren't at draft day. And even if it is Winston, I'd like to see how they're going to do with whatever quarterback they draft in Tampa. And oh boy, I mean, if Mariota comes here and is on Tampa and kicks the shit out of Philadelphia at home, woo, boy, Chip Kelly ain't going to be looking too good. People will say, like, who should have traded the farm for him? Oh no, now Mariota embarrassed us at home, whatever. But yeah, that's an interesting matchup. That's actually a game, when I saw the schedule, I was like, boy, that's one of the top 4 games I'm looking. Top 4? Who has a top 4? But anyways, there's 4 main games I was looking forward to. That was definitely one of them, based on more so if Tampa does go get Mariota. But even interesting to see what they do with all those receivers there. Those average height of the receivers is 6'34", and whether they get Winston or Mariota, that's going to be an interesting game. For the second year in a row, Week 12, Thanksgiving football here in Philadelphia. Well, it's in Detroit. Lions at home against Philadelphia. 12:30 start, first game of the day. Nation's eyes on Philadelphia again. Another primetime matchup. Goes to show you the confidence they have, the NFL schedule makers have, in this Philadelphia Eagles team in putting them in the national spotlight. That's their 4th national game. We have 2 Sunday night games, a Monday night game, this Thursday game, and Saturday game later on in the season. And you never know, one of these other later games, like that Buffalo Bills game, could get flexed to that Sunday night spot, but we'll get to that in a second. Following up Thanksgiving at New England, the defending Super Bowl champs. Chip, do what Andy Reid couldn't do here and beat New England. Anyways, that's another game that will be interesting. You never know. That game might get flexed because this is in December, so you're looking into flex territory at this point. Both teams are doing good at that point. Look for that game to get flexed out. Okay, now here's another one of the games that I'm really looking forward to this year. Buffalo Bills at Philadelphia, Sunday, December 13th. Another game that could potentially get flexed for the obvious reasons of Shady McCoy coming back. I still like the guy. I still root for the guy. Like if you went to play like for Dallas or the Redskins or something like that, oh hell no. Oh hell no, I couldn't root for him. But he's playing for the Buffalo Bills. I have no problem rooting for him still now. I have no problem. Wish him nothing but the best in the league. He's one of my favorite players when he was here on this team. Still going to root for the guy to have success. But not when you come here in Philadelphia. Oh, shit. I mean, it's going to be, you think it's going to be extra motivation for McCoy to come here and shine in Philadelphia one more time and do it against Chip Kelly, a guy who he has no love lost for. Now, let's be realistic. He did not show him much of any respect on his way out the door. It was a very bitter relationship between McCoy and Chip Kelly, and I personally can't blame him. And, oh, yeah, that's another good defensive matchup, so it's going to be interesting on a lot of levels to see what the Eagles can do at home. Next, Arizona Cardinals at Philadelphia, a repeat game from last year, only with the home venues changed. Hopefully this won't be a difference of not being able to drive the ball into the end zone from 1 yard out and that being a sticking point again. Another very good defense. I like that there's a bunch of solid defenses that we're facing here. It's a Sunday game, December 20th, 1 o'clock. Yeah, again, solid matchup. If you're in the playoff hunt, that's a good game to just well, I mean, it depends who they have a quarterback. I don't know. Who knows? Might not mean anything to beat the Cardinals come December. It might mean everything. They could be firing all cylinders. It's a very good defense. They got a lot of pieces there. They just really need a solid quarterback, and they're going to be dangerous. All right. Now, here comes the deja vu portion of the schedule. Saturday game, Washington Redskins at Philadelphia. Week 16. That's weird. Last year, Week 16, we played the Redskins, only it was at Washington. Just basically a repeat of last year. Saturday game, 8 o'clock. I think, actually might have been the earlier in the day game, but it was still Saturday football. Same exact thing as last year. Going into next Sunday, Week 17, at the New York Giants. Same game that we ended with last year, only it was at Philadelphia. This year it's at the Giants. That's like same exact 2 games to end the season with that you did the previous year. And in all honesty, why is not one of these games against the Cowboys? Why not? I don't get it. It's no disrespect. Who knows? Maybe the Redskins or Giants will make a run. I think people are really undershooting the Giants because last year they had more people on the IR list than anyone else in the league. So you really don't know the full grasp of what that team's going to be. But I just don't see Eli doing much of anything else in this league. And RG3 is just RG3 of modern day. And I don't see him doing much of anything. But I don't know. It's kind of disappointing to see that one of the final 2 games wasn't against the Cowboys. And on top of that, by week 9, you played both Cowboys games. That just, I don't know. Anyways, it's a good schedule. I don't think it's, obtrusively hard or easy or anything like that. It's a good schedule that is going to say like, the Eagles got 10 wins against cupcake teams and all that. Like, it's a schedule that's going to test them as a true team. Anyways, I'm looking forward to it. Just, oh my God, football! Something football-related happened. And, it's something to just look at and anticipate for next year. Or next season. It's obviously this year. Anyways, how do you guys feel about your team's schedule? How do the Eagles fans, how do you feel about this schedule this year? You bothered by the fact that both Dallas games are done by week 9 and that one of them is in week 2? I don't know. For any team, I don't think a big rivalry matchup should be held in the first 2 weeks. Even the 3rd week is pushing it. Anyways, have a good night. Draft is a week away. 9 days away. Oh my God. I'm gonna go masturbate now. Did I say that out loud? Have a good night, everyone.